Hi, welcome to Fluketronic. Up now we're going to take a look at a new app for iPad called SWAM VariFlute. So this is another instrument from SWAM that are very good for wind controller, breath controller use. So we're going to be looking at today the WARBL2 Bluetooth MIDI wind controller. And so we'll look at configuration in VariFlute, some configuration items for the WARBL, and run through some presets and just take a look at the app. So first of all, we'll just give a quick listen, and then I'll put my headphones on so I can hear what we're doing. So here we go, just a quick listen on the default patch VariFlute. Okay, so let's look at the basic interface here. So you've got kind of your normal controls you would expect for pitch bend and expression. So expression I've got set up to CC2, normal wind controller, and pitch bend is coming from the finger pitch bend on the WARBL. And currently that's really the only thing coming out of the WARBL. You've got pitch bend, velocity, and expression. So let's look at the other controls here. So you can control from the main panel here, you can control flutter tone, breath noise, aperture, resonance, high frequency EQ, or boost, pipe length, and pipe diameter. So all these parameters are inputs into a physically modeled flute model behind here. So you can see they're kind of mostly subtle variations. So you're not getting too wild, but you do get different timbres, and we'll look at some presets in a moment. The other thing you control here is the kind of pipe. So default is just open hole flute, closed pipe. Maybe somewhat like a trombone, maybe. And then you got kind of the closed pipe multi, so more reminiscent of a pan flute. So there, I guess the main effect of that one is you really don't get a legato effect going between notes. So all those notes kind of have their own attack, if you will. Okay, so that's kind of that. Let's run through a few presets just to give an idea of what different sounds are on taps. Let's just start at the top, Bansuri high. That's interesting. I don't think that's coming from the WARBL, so I think that must be... I'm not sure where that jump up is coming from. Do they all do it? No, so that is coming from VariFlute, not the WARBL itself. That's interesting. Just the Bansuri seems like. Recorder will get you that overblow technique too. Okay, so let's talk about configuration a little bit. So most important thing is to assign, first of all, your breath control template, and there are a lot here. So if you have a reasonably recent wind controller, you might have a default here. There is not one for the WARBL, but I find that the just wind controller default works pretty well for WARBL. Now I also have a Clear Mini. We'll look at that maybe a different time. So a couple of things on the WARBL itself. So if you have the WARBL app, it looks like I need a firmware update, but it's just fine. So a couple of things on my WARBL setup. One, I'm set up for finger vibrato and slide, and you can play with this. Looks like I have a very low finger sensing distance, and this is very handy so you can kind of see what pitch bend values are being sent. And if you look very closely there, you can see that pitch bend is getting delivered a lot of times just as I'm closing the tone holes here. You get that kind of a low pitch bend before the actual note clicks on. And that's just a property of the way the WARBL is sending out those MIDI messages and dealing with some of these advanced settings here. Now, what I found very important, this setting right here, send pitch bend immediately before note on. If I don't do that, the VariFlute responds not as well. So I'll show you what that sounds like. And with it on, that little thing there just seems to make it so that every note doesn't have a slide up to it. So for me, at least the way I'm playing, that setting was very important. Now let's talk about kind of an advanced thing with the WARBL. So the killer feature for the WARBL2 was the IMU, which means you now have MIDI messages going out for 3 dimensions. So if you lift, elevate, roll, left and right, and then yaw is this direction. And you can get MIDI values sent out. So I have these set up here going from CC 20 for roll, 21 for elevation, and yaw 22. So back over in VariFlute, you can get those to do something. I find, well, let's just try something. So breath noise, let's say we want to map that, and I'm going to, okay, so it picked up the roll first. I don't want to do that. So let's just type in 21. Is that, there we go. So we got elevation now mapped to breath noise, and hopefully we'll be able to hear that. Maybe with something with a little more pronounced breath. Let's try maybe the Vansuri. Or shakuhachi, perhaps. Yeah, you can kind of hear that. Some of the others, let's try, flutter tongue is, I find, not too useful, just because let's say we map that one to roll. To me, that's hard to do on the WARBL because I can't play and twist at the same time. So maybe that would be for a bagpipe or something configuration, but that's hard for me to control here. So that's not so great, but let's just unassign that one. The other one is the yaw. So let's just for grins see if we can change pipe length. Really? Can't assign that one? Huh. Guess that one's not actually assignable. Okay, so let's try this one on learn. These go on elevations. Let's go punch in 22 then. Is that the right one? Yeah, so that's the left to right there. You can see there, and again, it's kind of hard on the WARBL to make use of that. Oh, let's turn off the flutter tongue. So it is possible. I don't find that all that useful for this instrument, at least. So maybe the breath noise is okay on elevation. The elevation is useful, and you could use that to map to one of the other parameters if you found it useful. Okay, so I think that is kind of covers all the bases. We'll see if we can make use of this in a real song coming up on the channel. But for now, there you go, SWAM VariFlute.